Woo! Wild day at Brown Mountain. Listen to my voice. Even my voice is tired. Woo! Had a great ride. Went up the number 1, which is the main road out of the going up the mountain. Hit 4, over to 2, went 2 all the way up. Hit 1 up there. Started to go down the hill. I think on 9, where 1 comes into 9, and it was completely covered in trees and steep. And I made it down just far enough where I couldn't get back out. So I literally had to flip my bike lengthwise, flip up this steep hill to get it up above these rocks far enough to where I could crawl up this one crack and get out of there and get back to the main road, back to the truck. I'm pretty sure I was there stuck for about 2 hours. I'd move the bike some and then I'd just rest. I was already tired, and man, woo! A little bit dehydrated, and oh man, picking up a bike, essentially you're doing a deadlift and then pulling at your stomach and then doing a military press and flopping it up the hill to get over this one section of rocks that I happened to go down at the last second and realized these trees just keep I was able to, what fooled me was there was a tree over the trail that I could duck down far enough and slide underneath it without having to get off the bike. And then as soon as I came around a corner, I could just see tree after tree after tree. I'll show you a picture right here. So there's just no way I could go any further. And I knew it was going to be a challenge to get out. At one point I laid down and said, that's it. I'm going to get rested. I'm going to walk back up. And then I'm going to try to get someone to help me. And then I just calmed down a little bit. So let's see if we can't figure this out. If you can rest a little bit, what do you got to do to get this bike in a place where you can crawl it out? I realized if I just could flip it one more time, spin it, front wheel, back wheel, front wheel, back wheel, up a little bit, I would be able to probably then crawl up the crack to get out of there. I lowered my rear paddle tire down to 5 psi. Took another rest and just crawled it out, and then I turned my recorder back on. Anyway, Brown Mountain, always fun, never disappoints. If you get a chance to get up to Brown Mountain, do it. If you like my videos, thumbs up. The least you can do. And then if you want to see them when they come out, just hit subscribe. You'll get notified whenever I turn one out. Brown Mountain OHV, be there. Great place. Hope you had a chance to ride. Bye-bye. Good morning, everybody. 14 Guitars here. I'm on my way to Brown Mountain. I spent the last night in Morganton in a beautiful little bed and breakfast. Oh man, this deep feather mattress bed. Got the room down about 65 degrees and just slept like a baby. But anyway, we're on our way. It's about 9 in the morning on the 26th, I believe, of April, whatever Saturday is. I know I never checked that date. But anyway, I haven't been to Brown. I think it's been a year, but it might have been 2 years. And I just felt like riding something a little different. I'm going to sit around for about an hour when I get up there because I just ate breakfast and let that do a little digestion and relaxation, and also let the trails dry out just a little bit. There was a lot of moisture overnight. I don't know if it rained or if it was just from mountain moisture, from fog. But so everything's got a little bit of water on it. And since I'm not a skilled rock rider, I'm gonna give it about an hour to warm up a little bit and dry out a little bit, and then I'll hit the trails. I may try 1B today. Last time I tried that trail, I turned around and went back at the very first rock face because I just felt like I didn't have enough experience, and riding by myself, I didn't want to take a chance on tumbling down that thing and having to push my bike back or worse. So now this time it's a Saturday. There's a bunch of people here. So I'm hoping that I have the confidence to ride 1B. We'll see. In any case, it's a challenge, and I wanted to do something a little challenging, something that raised my anxiety level just a little bit. I think that's very healthy for everybody to do periodically on a regular basis. And the more you do it, the better you get at it. And So I'm very excited. I will be back at the start of the video pretty soon. Back at Brown Mountain for the first time in a year or two. I'm not sure which. Check the notes. I think I made a video last time I was here. Guess it was the year we rode Damascus. I went to the there's a Rails to Trails place up in Damascus, and I was up there 2 years ago of 2023, and my sister and brother-in-law were supposed to meet me up there. We rented a cabin and we were going to ride that trail that goes through there. I can't remember the name of it. And they both got COVID, and so that didn't work out. So I got up there a day early, and I went and rode Brown Mountain. So here we are now. We're going to ride Brown. We're going to have a good time, and I'm excited. The first thing this morning, I want to go up the main trail 1, hit 4 to 2, then climb 2 up, and then decide what to ride. Now this paddle tire, I know, is not very good on rocks. We may have some challenges with that. But the dirt here today is going to be fantastic because it's wet. It rains. I don't know if it rained last night, or if it's been raining off and on, or if it was just wet. But oh, this road is nice. It almost seems like they put a little dirt on it since I was here last. I don't know how that works. Whether the North Carolina puts dirt on here, whether dirt just washes down the mountain. Definitely looks like there's been, you know, there's more dirt on here than last time. Last time I was here, it felt like it was just all rocks like that. So, Hunter in the parking lot just told me about a place called Doe something, like I think like a deer in Tennessee. That's tons of single track, and I might try that sometime in the future. Maybe it's Doe Mountain, I don't know. Anybody that watches my videos knows that I don't get to ride rocks very often. So it's been 2 years. So for me, it's like brand new every time. I am always pleased with how well the bike will generally follow your line on rocks. It's like the bike doesn't care that it's rocks versus dirt. In a lot of cases, at least at the speeds I ride these rocks, right? Probably for high performance riders, suspension makes a big difference. I didn't even change my suspension. I'm running the same suspension I ran at Wambaugh cycle trail. So fairly, I'd say somewhere around the mid-range of compression and a little bit higher damping. A little bit higher damping on both the shocks, my shock and the forks. Because Chris and Stephanie rode the bike to check it out and she's a lot lighter than me. And Chris adjusted the compression for her, and then added a little rebound damping, because I think he said, you know, she was getting bounced around. So, and I rode much stiffer rebound, you know, much higher, you know, all the way down to 4 clicks out, you know, almost all the way damped, and then fine. I think it would really beat you up here, but since I've been in that domain with this bike, the 2 clicks he added to my shock for damping, maybe it was even 1 click, and I think 2 on my suspension. I really didn't even notice. I think he increased my compression by 2 and damping by 2 on the forks, and 2 low-speed compression on the shock, and one setting higher of damping on the fork. Whew. Anyway, great to be here. Excited. Yeah, that tire doesn't get much traction. This paddle tire or scoop tire, it's not really made for these conditions. I'm not going to ride. I think it's 1A, because this tire is just a little too, you know, comes out from under me a little too much. If I was a skilled rider on rocks, probably could just adjust, but I'm not, and don't really want to take that chance riding by myself, even though there are people here. Hunter was confident that I could do it, and I appreciate his confidence, but of course he's a pretty good rider. I might ride 1A and just go around all the main obstacles, and if I just feel like I can't do it, I'll turn around and slowly go back and do my best not to run into anybody. I talked about that the other day. On a one-way trail that's wide, like these trails, I mean, they're going to be narrower than this. This is the road, but the trails are fairly wide. If you're on a one-way trail and somebody stalls in front of you, you generally have plenty of time, right, to react to that, and not run into those people. So if you're going to ride backwards on a one-way trail, personally, I have a light, thank goodness. I'll turn my light on if I need to do that, and just take it nice and slow. Essentially, I'll be moving at a similar, you know, closing speed with someone coming towards me as if I were stalled on the trail. And I'll stay to one side and just ride back if I really have to. If I feel like it's a safety issue, I run out of talent too early. I think this is 4, yeah, so we're going to take 4. We're going to ride over to 2. 4 crosses 1, I believe. And then you can make a right. It ends at trail number 2. See how wide this is? But anyway, 4 ends at number 2. Number 2 is going north. I'm going west, so that means I'll be making a right turn up here when I reach number 2. Been here in 2 years, and boy, there's quite a few trails. You know, North Carolina really suffered a big hit during that hurricane. It was pretty powerful for being so far inland. Normally a hurricane needs the strength of warm ocean water. That's why they come in the summer. You got this warm ocean water, and then they get over land and they don't enough water supply and they lose a lot of their strength. Boy, it's only about 66 degrees, 67 degrees, and I got my hair wet and I got my armor wet, and I don't have a t-shirt on, and I'm a little cool, but I'm hoping this is a good long-term strategy where I'll slowly warm up on the trail here and stay nice and cool and ride efficiently. What have I learned lately? I haven't studied any new stuff lately, not much. Well, one thing is Joe Rogan mentioned he mentions it a lot. He talks about the multiverse, and he confuses the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics, quantum physics. He confuses that with the multiverse. They're two completely different things. So the many worlds interpretation in quantum mechanics, you may have heard this, you may have not. You can, and this is just part of reality. When you go to measure the location of, let's say, an electron is a quantum particle. You cannot predict where it will be at a specific time. You can predict, on average, where a group of electrons will be, right? So it is a predictable. I guess I'm on 2 now. Yeah, I haven't been here in a while. So you can predict with extreme accuracy, incredible accuracy, where a group of electrons will fall. Matter of fact, it's so accurate, it's one of the most accurate measurements that we can predict in advance in the universe. Who knows why this happens, but let's talk about what happens. So electrons, when you measure an electron is every atom has an electron in it, or more, one or many. Electrons, like I said, they're particles. Excuse me. But in quantum mechanics, the electron itself doesn't exist as a particle. It's a field of energy. The electron field. It's a field of energy. Think of it like a pond, right? A pond. And if you throw a rock into the pond, boom, you've measured the electron. And let's say you can't. Let's say you can't predict. You can throw the rock, and you know it's going to land in the pond, but you're not quite sure where in the pond it's going to land. You can't predict where it's going to land, but you know it's going to land in the pond. So that gives you your, and you know for a fact it's going to land in the pond. Once it lands in the pond, then you can see where it landed and call that the location, right? Okay, so I guess this is 2. I don't know. Should I have kept going? All right, we're gonna have to check the map. I didn't expect to see two-way traffic up here. But anyway, let's get back to, I also missed my shift. So I went to give it gas and nothing happened because I missed my, I got stuck in neutral and didn't make that turn. So anyway, so when you do throw the rock in the pond, let's say you're halfway across the pond, the ripples go in all directions, right? 360 degrees. And but you're only going to measure the ripples in one spot. I'll take my goggles off. Whew. Actually, I got to check the map. We're going to pause a minute. We'll come back to quantum mechanics. Here's our parking lot. We went up 1, which is the main road. Then we hit 4. We rode 4. Okay, so I'm literally right here. And I made this right-hand turn here on 1B. But what I want to do is keep going until I hit 2, which is, I believe, right here. Yeah, so take a look at this. So this is, so I come up 4, and you can see it says 4 right here on this sign right here, where it says two-way traffic. This is 1B, coming up 1B. So we got 1 lane, 2 lanes, 3 lanes, 4 lanes, all meet in one spot. So if you come to Brown Mountain and you do this, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. I made this turn on 1B. I don't want to take 1B. I want to go over to 2. It's a little bit harder trail. And take 2 up. Take 2 all the way up to 8. And then decide whether to take 8 back to the main road or hit 1 back to the main road. I have taken 9. Not all the way down. I've taken 9 down to 10. 9 can be an interesting ride. Sometimes harder than others. So anyway, we're going to go back here. We're right here, like I said, at the 4-way. Right here, the 4-way. And we are going to take 2. Essentially, on the map, it looks like you go straight across, doesn't it? Almost straight across. But it's a turn. All right, that's it. Now let's get back to physics. Anyway, the fact that those ripples go out in all directions and you don't see them, that's the many worlds interpretation. It essentially, you can think of it like this. Hey, ripples go in all directions. That's the many worlds. And the one world is the one you measure, the one you see where you're standing. Now that's just a mathematical way of representing what happens in the electron field. The electron field goes out in 360 degrees in real space, in all directions. And when you measure it, a particle of energy collapses from that field. Think of it like a cloud, right? Like a cloud, and then a raindrop falls from that cloud. All the rain from that cloud, you know, comes from somewhere in that cloud, but you don't know where that drop is going to form until that drop actually forms and then you see it. The measurement effect itself, the difference between that and the cloud rain in a cloud and measuring an electron is the rain in the cloud forms because it has a tiny piece of dust that molecules, water vapor, can start to stick to, and then there's an energy transformation and pulls the water vapor together. It forms a drop, and as it falls, more molecules attached to it, water molecules, and you get a drop. For the electron, we provide a source of collapsing something out of that field, meaning disrupting that field in a way that it can't stay coherent, meaning it can't just stay a field. If nothing's happening to that field, it stays just as kind of like a cloud, and it's there forever. If we introduce energy or some other method of disrupting that field, then that field collapses, a tiny piece of it collapses in the location and becomes what acts like a particle. So it goes from like a rain cloud to a raindrop, a particle. And so that's the many worlds, right? We don't know where, the ripples go out in all directions. We only see one ripple. That's the many worlds, is all the ripples going 360 degrees. If it was a sphere, it'd be going out in all directions spherically. Now let's talk about the multiverse. Completely different thing. So Rogan confuses many worlds, and he says, well, if there's infinite number of worlds, then there should be, if there's infinite time, infinite occurrences of me. Me exactly as I am, me slightly different, right? So he's confusing those two things. One of the things we've shown to be true, those ripples go in all directions. no one's ever shown, and the math doesn't indicate, that there are multiple actual universes like our giant universe. As far as we know, as far as we can measure, and from the math we have one universe and it's expanding. It may collapse. The math doesn't say it'll collapse, so we don't know all the math. If it expanded enough, if space expanded enough, there are some mathematical models that say another universe like ours might inflate out of that space and there'd be another universe. The problem is it can't possibly be identical to ours, even if there's no end of time. And the reason is due to quantum uncertainty. I told you, until the raindrop falls, you don't know where the raindrop's going to fall. It doesn't fall in the same place every time. Same thing with quantum mechanics. The molecular configurations, the particles that come into and out of existence, they do not come into existence in the exact same place and way every time. So while it's difficult to call something impossible in a scientific sense unless it's been shown to be impossible, but based on what we know now and the current math and taking into account everything we know, it's silly. It's a silly kind of a parlor trick to say that there's infinite number of universes and there are infinite number of me's, only slightly different, only I didn't fall on the trail over there because I didn't miss my first gear shift. So that's the most recent thing I've been pouring over on the AI system. I do have a background. My undergrad was physics and engineering, mechanical engineering, and then my master's degree is mechanical engineering. So I've seen a lot of these concepts roughly before, but this one, just since lately Rogan is on some kick talking about this stuff, it's hokum. It's hokum. I hate to use that severe word, but it is. It's a misunderstanding and a mischaracterization of two different kinds of applications of physics. All right, boy, that was some yappy stuff. I'll have to put a thing in the notes how to skip this gigantic going off the rails discussion of physics if you're not interested in physics. Well, physics is pretty cool though. And it's amazing what we can actually measure and what we've learned over time, all that stuff. So, I got winded just talking. So, I'm going to hit this number 2 trail. I may not say anything. Ah, my trusty speed. I love this bike. So number 2 is a bit harder than 1. So we just crossed 1, I think it's called 1B. Number 2 is a little harder than that. It's thinner, it's more narrow, and I'm pretty sure further down definitely there's a lot more rock faces. I accidentally went down the wrong direction on 1B once. I think the first time I was here I got really lost. It was during the week, so there was nobody here to help me get back, and my GPS was kind of limited. I had a paper map. And so I went all the way down 1, hopped on 2, and came back up the hill. And further down the hill, there's a lot more granite rock faces. And I was still relatively new. I still am, but I was newer then than I am now for riding rocks. Except on like gravel roads and stuff, or river roads. And it just, boy, it intimidated me, but I had a great ride. And really enjoyed the process of and the challenge. I hope you all are able to get out and ride. I hope you had a great Easter. It's a beautiful spring day here in North Carolina. Brown Mountain is in North Carolina, about 20 miles north of Morganton. Morganton doesn't have a lot of hotels. There's a Comfort Inn. I stayed in a bed and breakfast, and it was really nice, just beautiful. And it cost less than it was $114, so less than the price of a hotel. I got to stay in a beautiful home, older home. There were chocolate bars in the room, lots of different coffees, half and half. A lot of hotels lately stopped stocking half and half, which is crazy. It's not that expensive for coffee. I like a little half and half with my coffee. I actually brought some in case I had to camp. I brought, on a trip like this, which is almost a 5-hour drive, I'm always going to bring a couple pillows and a sleeping bag, because I can always sleep in the back of the SUV in an emergency. You may wonder why I'm driving at this speed. I am just enjoying this ride. It's so beautiful. I probably got 2 to 3 hours of riding I can do, and then I need to get back. I got a 5-hour ride, you know, ahead of me. So I'm going to take my time and really enjoy the day, and just hit several of these trails and just enjoy them. I like to go down 9 and bail at 10. As I recall, 9 had a couple of washed out areas that made it a little challenging, but you didn't have to jump or anything. You just had to choose your line really carefully. Yeah, so this section of 2, just based on what I'm seeing now, is way, way, way different than if you take the very first left when you hit the road out of the parking lot, the road that goes up the mountain, road number 1. If you make that very first left, I think that's 1A. Anyway, if you look on the map, the first main trail to the left, and it goes quite a ways. That ends, or well, it forks into the bottom of 2. And then I think that becomes 1B, that road we crossed at the 4-way, that trail we crossed at the 4-way. I think it becomes 1B, which is easier, but 1A is a little harder trail. And when you hit that section of trail number 2, it's a good bit, it's a very different trail. It's a granite wall, lots of rocks trail, whereas this is a dirt trail. These conditions, with this moisture in my paddle tire, my what do you call it, scoop tire, M14 Dunlap tire, holy smokes. I got that thing set on about 7 PSI. I got the front lower down to 9, and this dirt is just sticking like glue. So, really fun. Really good conditions after the rain. There's enough sand in this dirt that it really benefits from moisture. Now, brushy, I've never been, but I've been told. Brushy is a lot more that, that orange clay. Orange clay comes from ancient pine forest, by the way. When you see, like red rocks in the deserts of Colorado or wherever the red rocks is, the Grand Canyon, and you see that bright orange dirt, that tells you that used to be forest. That wasn't bad. Last time I came here, I got off the trail and I ended up in that gully over there, right there. I think I made a video of getting stuck right about there and finally getting back up to this trail. It was during a time of the year when there was a lot more bushes. So, yeah, that was fun. All right. I think this is 1B. So if I'm going to stay on number 2, these guys. I think I got lost here before and a little confused. Is that 2?
No, that's not 2. I think it is. Bullshit. I'm pretty sure it is. That's 2. Oh, that's like a little goat trail, but it's pretty fun.
Well, 2 is supposed to go all the way up to 8, right? And I don't think I'm up to 8 yet.
Yeah, you gotta go back that way, go out on 4, take the left, and then I think you can run that out.
I thought it said 2 went all the way up.
No, I think 2 connects. Pretty sure this is 2 and it connects to 4A. You take the left, you go out, and I think you ride it out.
So that little road I just saw, that's 4A. Make a right on that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I don't know.
Maybe I'll check the map. See what I'm confusing. This thing stops. It doesn't keep going.
No, it goes. This one just goes all the way. Where did we come off? So we don't know where. This will actually that trail will take you all the way to the fucking top.
I think that's 2.
It might be. No, it would be numbered. It would say 2 right there.
There's a number?
Yeah. There ain't no number on this one. That's a goat trail. 100%. It'll take you all the way to the top.
Is it about the same?
It's not hard.
Okay.
It's not, there's just mud holes.
I'll try it out.
Yeah, it's we just come up backwards up it.
Okay.
It's not bad.
All right. Y'all have a good one. Appreciate it. This is not 2. I think it is 2. We'll find out. If it keeps going to the top. If not, I guess I might be riding back on this trail. How far down it goes. This is definitely too well worn in to be an unmarked trail. Right. I think it was actually marked right by those fellas there. I saw a marker at that where that group of roads all came together, the trails all came together. I saw a marker. Danny, I wish you were here. That's my nephew. My little shaping son. We have a goddaughter, but we didn't have any kids of our own. And Danny's the closest thing to a son for me. And Brett, his brother. Brett doesn't like riding dirt bikes, so he would not enjoy this, but Danny would love it. Danny just, he's a paramedic. He just had his second child, little girl. And, so he's a busy working dad. You know, I think he's 30 years old now. That tire's not terrible. Great. Well, there it spun out on me a little bit. So I don't think I'd ride on that tire up here again. I'd switch over. Maybe switch back to the golden tire, even though it's a bit worn. I kept it because it's not completely worn out. A bit of granite even this far up, which is cool. I like these rocks. I'm not used to it, and that's kind of exciting. That little puddle was a little deeper than I expected. So this one probably is too. Not bad. Sometimes you just gotta hit the gas and go, right? That was totally out of control. Glad I made that. That could have been exciting. guys, yeah, motocross riders are fit for sure, but enduro guys, holy smokes, the energy output it takes to wrangle a motorcycle for 2 hours through rough rocks. I'm guessing the energy is somewhat higher. I'd have to look it up to see what the actual measurements are, but intuitively it seems true. Now, it might not be true, only because when a motocrosser is going as fast as he can, he's maybe doing the same amount of work, but by moving less force more times and more quickly, so that the work is the same, but the maximum energy applied, or force applied, is lower. Work is force over distance, I believe. I should know this, you know, I'm an engineer, I should know this just so easily off the top of my head. But force over distance is work, I believe. Yeah, that's work. Yep. Oh, I might be lost. I might be lost. Maybe not. So you can do a lot more work in a shorter time if you're applying a lot more force. This might be a side trail to the main trail. I don't know. Who knows? I'm here now. I see fresh tracks. I'll either follow these tracks and make it back, or turn around and go back the other way. Figure it out. Rogan's latest podcast, or second to his latest, got some a filmmaker, the guy that made the movie called The Mariachi and Once Upon a Time in Mexico. That guy talks about, you know, you're part of the universe. It's responsible for your creativity, you're not. And it's a psychological way of kind of dumping the stress of you having to be a creative person. And it works in any job, right? Any job, there's some kind of creativity, almost any job. It allows you to just dump that off on the universe and figure it out as you go, and hope the universe gives you a result that you can appreciate. I don't actually believe that. I believe that you actually are responsible for your own creativity, but maybe not consciously. So I know that there are parts of your brain that you don't consciously access all the time, but that run all the time, like say when you're awake. Right, like when you do a math problem, a piece of your brain does it and gives you the answer. Boy, this is crazy. I don't know what trail this is. See how steep that face was, and the bike went right down it. Learning mountain bikes with my nephew gave me the confidence to go down those straight down faces. As long as you've got a little momentum, the bike's you're not gonna go over the bars. See that? Straight down. You're not gonna go over the bars. The bike like, we'll just keep going. You'll flow right into it. Man, I may be totally lost here. Woo! I don't know where the heck we are. One thing about these hills that go down is you need to be able to come back up if you turn around. And this is going a good ways down this hill. I think it's time to stop and see where I am. All right, we're going to stop for a minute, and I'm going to turn off this video for a second. All right, folks, I ran into a father and son out riding, and he assured me that this meets up at the top with more trails, which from my map says it's trail number 1 and 8. If you're going to ride up here, keep in mind that the cellular is only so good. If you're going to try to use Google Maps, you need to download Google Map, the Google Map in advance. And if you can, get an app that downloads the aerial view. Because when I looked at Google Maps just now, it's almost just a, you know, that blue-green color with a dot that says you are here. I can zoom out and, you know, it'll show me that down here is the parking lot, but there's no trails, there's no details whatsoever to let you know where you are exactly. So, yeah, that's why I came on the weekend, you know, being by myself, because I knew there'd be other riders out, and that if I got lost, they could help me out. So those other fellows that were up at the trailhead where it splits up there, they didn't think this was 2, and they just were not right. But no, you know, for them, they'd probably just come out here and ride and have a good old time and know these trails. These are local trails, and that's whatever you don't need to know the trail number. But so let's get on down this trail, get to the top, get back to the parking lot, and get some water. I feel better now. My nephew and I were at Carolina Adventure World once, and we got lost, and we had very poor cell service, and he was a little anxious, and I had to remind him, hey man, think about how rare in your world it is to be lost. You know, my generation, we predate the internet and we predate handheld GPS devices. So you used a map, a paper map, and hope for the best. You might use a compass. I never did. And you kind of knew generally where you were. You learned north, south, east, and west. And that was usually enough to get home. And there were times when you might be a little worried, a little bit misplaced. You might not know where you were, but you might not consider yourself lost. Now, how does this YZ250 motocross engine just purr through this section with a moderately skilled pilot at the helm? I've got a weighted flywheel and shoot, and I've detuned the bike a little bit as far as I retarded the timing 2 degrees. Of course, I should have just cranked right up that hill there, but I just don't feel comfortable with the lack of riding I do here. So forgive me if it's not exciting today. It's exciting for me. having a good time. Okay, back to this tractoring. So yeah, so with a weighted flywheel, and look at this thing. Dang. Retarded ignition. I don't like how suddenly that died like that. That was strange. I should have plenty of gas. Oh yeah, I got plenty of gas. Because I feel bragging about my tractor engine. So now we're exceeding my skill level when I'm at this level of tired. When I'm fresh, it probably wouldn't be challenging at all. Man, I might get up here and rest a little bit. Shoot. Yeah, this tire just doesn't have it. I may have to let a little more air out. Cranking that clutch, man. There we go. All right, let's go. The sooner we get down a little water, rest a little bit, take it back up. Great fun, great trail, y'all. Good trail to take when you're fresh. I know a lot of these other trails are much easier. More like just like this the whole way. So really pretty to ride. No real, not much physical exertion. Mountain bikes with my nephew, I would not have felt very comfortable going down that face. It would have freaked me out a little bit. I think I will stop. stop and crank the idle up a little bit. Now it looks like, boy, looks like I can go right. That looks a little challenging for me, especially a little tired. Let's go check it out. I don't recall this from last time. I'm pretty sure I've been here. I'm guessing I went up this side here. But let's go see what it looks like on this side. So that looks relatively simple, you know, from the first section. But then you got to climb that second section, and I've got this slippery tire. So I'm thinking go up this, hit this, then up here, and you get around it. Yeah, it looks good. I think I'll sit down and take a rest, y'all. Be back in 10 minutes. This is that hill climb, that face climb. I think this fella's gonna do it, so I'm gonna film him. Oh, he's taking the other side. So you climb that and then hit that. That looks fun. All right, we'll pause for now. We'll come back in 10 minutes. All right, I think I'll hit this first face. Just get to the top of that, and then go to the left and go around. I don't think I'll try the second one behind it with no run up with this tire, just this scoop tire. But we'll see. Oh, I'm cramping up. Ooh. I did take a salt pill this morning. We are out of my comfort zone, y'all. Wasn't that bad. I'm glad I tried it. I might have been able to go ahead, but that was fun. And it looks a lot further down than it did look up. Whew, that looks like a long way down. All right. Yeah, if I didn't try that, I'd be kicking myself. I'd at least give it a try. Oh man. I guess I can maybe go around that way. If I could make it up that one section, I think I'd be all right. It's just so many unknowns just because I don't know these. I feel like I could hit that and go up it. but I'm not sure. We'll go around. That takes you to the back. That's not going to get me around it. Whew. This is where a electric start sure would be nice. You know, if you know what you're doing, you don't wear yourself out. With something silly, simple as that. Clutch adjusted a bit far out. It's just really late engagement. My muscle memory was saying, why is it like it's moving? The clutch wasn't engaging. Nice and easy with my scoop tire. Woo! Oh, look at these babies' heads. Huh. Thank goodness this bike lugs. She really does look good. Alright, now I'm lost. Okay. Two-way traffic, that's good. That'll get me back to a place where I can figure out where I am. I think this is where 8 and 1 come together. different levels of detail. You remember certain levels of detail and your brain fills in the blanks. And it can fill in the blanks to something that looks super complete and accurate, like a well-focused photograph. Even if only a few pieces of that photograph show the reality of what you're remembering. So your memory could be way off and have a couple of tiny little bits and pieces correct. Your brain then fills in all the blanks. It looks to you like, hey man, I've got a very complete memory of this. There's this. Trail number 1 right there. Cool. All right. And what's this? Number 1. Okay. We're going to go down number 1. That's number 1 over there. Not here. Shoot. Oh man. Oh no. All right. Let's see if the trail's over here. None of that looks like a trail. And neither does that. All right, we're going to turn off for a bit. Moly, I was stuck down the last part of 1 here. Extremely steep, and the trail is not cleared. I got into a section that was too steep for me to get up and rocky. I literally had to flip the bike over itself uphill about 5 times. Flip, 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 you know, basically picking up the front wheel on this steep trail, flipping it over. After about the 6th time, I could then drag it sideways, sort of like this, up the trail. Finally I hit a section where I could get up it, just crawl up it, put the rear tire to 5 psi, and just creeped up it. And I believe right back here I can connect back up to one of the side roads, I guess 8 or something like that. Here we go. It'll take me back to the main road. Woo! Yeah, that was like hard enduro for someone who doesn't practice hard enduro. You know, my stomach muscles are cramping. I mean, locking up, cramping. I should have brought some pickle juice with me. Pickle juice triggers cramping. Cramping does not occur in the brain. Muscle cramping occurs from signals from the spine. So you can interrupt that signal by drinking something with strong acetic acid, like vinegar or pickle juice. Even if you can't get pickle juice, even mustard. Mustard's not quite as fast. Mustard takes like a minute to a minute and a half to trigger the. There's a nerve in your throat that interrupts the nerve from your spine that cramps your legs or anything from your neck down. And pickle juice only takes about 30 seconds. This is real science. They know the mechanism and all that. You know, it's not. I thought it was a wives' tale. I actually thought pickle juice was used to rehydrate because it's so salty. But this is a nerve, a physical process, not a hydration process, where you just interrupt the nerve that sends the signal to cramp. I did it with mustard the other day. My hand was cramping after my Womba ride, and it worked, you know, when I got back to my truck. Totally worked. It was amazing. I'm like, this is so cool. And I have pickle juice in my truck. I just should have packed it. So now I'm destroyed physically here after dragging that bike up the hill. I mean, I am destroyed. And I'm just going to basically get back to the main road, get to my truck, lick my wounds, and go home. Great experience. You know, better judgment would have said as soon as you saw down trees over the road where you had to slide your bike underneath it, it probably wasn't a cleared trail. It was a marked trail, so I figured if it wasn't cleared, they'd put some kind of tape over it or something. And maybe there's a call line. I have never checked to see if there's a call line that tells you what's blocked off. But I think you wouldn't have the markers in both directions if it wasn't a two-way trail. At this point, I don't care. Woo! All right, I'm recovering. Oh my goodness, that was awesome. But man, for a while there, look at that beautiful plant. I think that's a laurel. I'm not sure, a mountain laurel. Beautiful. One time I started to walk up to the top of the trail. I was going to walk all the way back to the 4-point section where, you know, different trails come together, and see if I could get help. And then I said, just, you know, you don't need to rush. I laid down until I got my heart rate below 130, pulled the bike the last little bit where I thought I might be able to creep up the trail in slow motion, you know, just creep up there with 5 psi in the rear tire. Now this is an inner tube tire, so I can't hit anything very fast with 5 psi. I don't have a moose or a tubeless, but crazy these people ride in shorts on quads. It freaks me out. But anyway, yeah, I hope it's two-way. Maybe I should turn my light on. Yes, I am. I don't know if this is 4 or 8. Jesus. Two-way traffic, okay. I'm definitely taking. Let's stop and check the map. All right, I got to take my my pack off and take a look at the map. Whew. I'll be back. Couple folks, this is the beauty of, if you're going to ride by yourself and you're not familiar up any place, I definitely recommend you ride on the weekend, because there'll be people to help you out. Every time I've come here, I've gotten lost. I've been here 4 times. And every time there's been people to help me out, because you just don't have great GPS up here. So you got to learn the trails. And I believe I'm on trail number 8. Also, this place is, you know, it's been 2 years since I've been here, and this place has had some devastation because of the hurricane. And I believe that's why number 1 is blocked off. 90% sure I was on 1. I guess I could have been where 1 turns into 9 and 9's not cleared. So I came up all the way up 2. If you keep going on, you're on 1, where 2 comes into 1, and then you can go south on 8. I'm either on 8 already, or I've been on 8, then I'm back on the main road. I don't remember how wide the main road appeared to be up here, so this far up the mountain. It's pretty big the lower you get. Y'all. So I got out of it exactly what I wanted, right? I exceeded my capabilities. I learned a little bit. Got a little bit better. Nope. Almost did that one. Really wore myself out for sure. I don't see a marker on that one. Go back and see if it's marked. Oh, man, everything on me's cramping up. My back, my stomach muscles. Woo! All right, so look, no marker. What's up with that? Oh, there we go. That's 8. So I must have been on 1. So somehow I made it down to 1. All right. There was a connector from wherever I was. I'll have to check that. Check the map. I was past 8. So I went up 2, continued on 1, I guess, past the turn off at 8, and then somehow got back down to 1. The other one, there's like number 1s all over this. Nope. 1 when you come out of the parking lot is the main road, which is this. If you make the first left off of this road as you leave the parking lot, like 50 yards out of the parking lot, I believe that's 1B, and then I think this is 1A. I don't know. And then maybe 1 with no A or B is the one that number 2 runs into. Just look at the map. I know this doesn't make any sense if you're not looking at a map. That's because I'm completely, I don't know the trail. So I'm grasping at straws here. So let's see, we'll be on the road by 3, home by 8 o'clock, eat a nice meal with my beautiful wife. And having had a wonderful adventure staying in that really cool bed and breakfast. This is a fun little road. YZ just purring along in 2nd gear, 3rd gear, I don't know what we're in. Idling down the hill. Hit that rear tire a little hard there. For only having 5 psi in it. That was a little bit more of a drop off than I had expected. sore. Among others, teaching the attack position where your heels are down. Put your heels down. Your boots automatically dig into the side of the bike with gravity. So you don't have to use your muscles. Just let your heels sag on the I've been here before. This is just a little turn off. This is the actual trail here. But anyway, if you just let your heels go lower than the foot pegs, stand on the balls of your feet, your boots automatically grip the bike with gravity. No muscle required to squeeze the bike. Automatic. Makes it pretty easy to just stand up. Now you do want to have sharp foot pegs if you're going to do this, because the reaction of pushing against the side of the bike and pushing down with gravity, there's another reaction pulling your boots backwards off the foot peg, like to the rear. It's the third reaction. And if you get really dull foot pegs and then you hit something at speed, you can just slide your boot right off the back of the peg. And the rim with all that pressure from the rock, and it can literally just pinch a hole into the inner tube, and then you've got a flat. I've never had one. I don't really ride fast enough on rocks, and I usually run a little higher tire pressure because I'm not hitting any real steep rock walls where you need that very low tire pressure. You know, guys with that are really doing rock climbs, they'll run tubeless system, T-U-B-L-I-S-S, I think it's tubeless, and they can run at 0 psi, so your tire will just grip that rock like a piece of rubber, you know, gummy rubber. I'm usually not climbing that kind of rock, so I don't keep my tires that low. I usually run 9 psi, and with my golden tire, I probably could stay at 9 psi everywhere around here. Maybe 8 or even 7, but with this M14 paddle tire, scoop tire, it's pretty slippery on rocks. It's not terrible once you get the tire pressure down. You know, it got some grip to it. It got me out of that hole I was down in for 2 hours. Crawled me out of it at 5 psi. know, I had to go a little lower than I'm comfortable with just an inner tube. I don't want to get a pitch flat. Hey, there's the guys I passed on the way up. Y'all okay? You good? Oh, you lost the tire. They lost the tire. Holy shit. Pardon my language, folks. I'll have to block that out because I try to make these videos kid friendly. Woo! I guess they'll make it down. Let's turn this off. Let's go help. Mr. Toad's wild ride there.
Ride like this.
Where'd the tire go? Did it roll down the hill?
No, he has it on the front.
Oh, he's got it. Okay. That's wild, man.
I've done that on his.
Oh, yeah?
That rear broke off. I had to weld the whole wheel to the spindle.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it still works good though.
You got to lean forward a little bit?
No, well, I strapped the front wheel up here.
Yeah.
And I rode right here.
Oh, man, that's crazy. We had to help that guy on the quad. He missed. He's lost the wheel.
Y'all boys take it easy.
Take care. Out on these trails. Thanks for sure. Everybody's having fun. number 4, trail 4, where I got off the first time. I feel like it's a good bit up past this, but I'm not sure. I'm hearing phantom motorcycles, quads behind me. Like I said, your brain fills in the blanks. It'd be very convincing. Makes it sound like somebody's following you right behind you. Your own light, and your brain filling in the sound. The woods smell good. It's that cedar-like smell. Bolt turn. All right, so I'm starting to cramp up my my left hand a little bit, my clutch hand, and my stomach cramps are gone, my back cramps are gone. Those were just from moving the bike around. You know, put so much effort into lifting, flipping. And essentially, you're doing a deadlift, convert then that to a military press, right? And going up the hill, so you're lifting that over your head, flip the bike up. It was a challenge for sure. I had to rest in between. I'd let my heart rate get back down and knock it out, but yeah, almost gave up and decided to just relax, rest. Get that heart rate down, take the bike nice and easy, get it staged to where you want it, rest again, get that sucker started, crawl up that hill, and thankfully at 5 psi, my little Dunlop M14 paddle tire didn't let me down. It crawled right up the hill, muddy, a lot of leaf litter, crawled right up and worked out great. All right, we're back. So that's the first one, number 1 trail right there. You can see how close we are. Well, that was certainly a challenge. And that is Brown Mountain for me today. Nothing left but to ride home. Y'all take it easy. I appreciate it. I got, let's see, banana, tomatoes, oranges, and a ham sandwich. So if you like my videos, thumbs up, subscribe. See you later.